Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. All right. I hope you're doing fine. We're taking you on a journey on how you can actually help yourself through the signs and symptoms you see in your body, correcting it before indulging or actually going into the process of conception. All right. What are the things you can actually see in this journey of conception, in this journey of pregnancy or trying to conceive at every given time without you knowing that you might actually be the cause of the problem you're having? Okay, the signs and symptoms include the breast milk you're seeing as a woman. Okay, if you're actually seeing breast milk in your system, okay, you just know that you can actually, okay, hold on. Can actually know that you can actually not be able to take in because of the issue of prolactin, high prolactin that the body has actually produced more, and then reducing your estrogen surge that will help your ovulation and help your reproductive health per se. Okay, if you're having high prolactin in your system, just know fully well that you'll be having. Okay, just know that if you're having issues with breast milk flowing in your breast, either when you press it, when you press the nipples and you're seeing some signs in it, when you're seeing some deposition of breast milk, you're seeing some deposition of breast milk in your, or some substance, some mucus kind of, if you're seeing some pap somehow in that breast nipples, do you understand, needles there, if you're actually seeing any milky stuff there, whether it's sticking, whether it's so concentrated or whether it's in fluid mode, whether it's coming out in liquid form, do you understand, if you're having any high prolactin surge in your system and at the same time flowing out, it can actually be a sign and symptoms you should know, should be addressed in your system, without only you saying that I'm not really seeing my ovulation, I don't actually see my ovulation often, I don't actually menstruate regularly and the rest of it. Instead of you going through that very stress or trying to actually debunk it, that all the cause of the issue of you not taking in at a particular time is as a result of not seeing ovulation, or because it's you think is your husband or whatever. So whatever it is that you are doing, and you press and see any liquid fluid coming out from your nipples or solid stuff coming out gradually, that your hand can actually bring it out, know that you're having some breast prolactin surge in your system, that your body is producing high prolactin as a result of hormonal imbalance. As a result of that, you might actually be having follicle stimulating hormone just because there is high blood prolactin, hyperprolactin in your system. So if you're having those signs and symptoms, you have to run straight to the hospital, run straight to your diagnostic center, and address this issue before trying to conceive again. Another thing that you can actually see in your system that shows truly that you're having some issues, again, the signs and symptoms that shows that you might have been having some issues caused by you without knowing, and that is affecting your conception for some time now. Just know fully well that issues that you're having might be high mucus discharge from your vagina. If you're having high mucus discharge from your vagina, it could actually be as a result of a high infection that you've had over time. It could be as a result of pelvic inflammatory disease that has actually been there in your pelvic, that have actually been there in the cervix for a longer time without you knowing that it's really affecting you. If you're having high or fluid in your vagina often and on, not normal vagina discharge. I've explained the difference between the normal vagina discharge and infected discharge. Do you understand? That's the last thing I posted 2 days ago. So if you're having that issues in your vagina, just know fully well that you needed to go and address the issue of the issue of infection. So if you're having that, whether it's reddish in color, whether it's darkened brown in color, whether it's so whitish, or whether it has a foul smell, whether it has a fishy smell, whether it has this smell that is often, whatever smell that you're having at this particular time through this discharge that you're having, just know that you need to attend to that as a sign and symptom in your system before talking of taking in. Then another thing you can actually be seeing in your system that could actually be a sign and symptom that you should address before thinking of coming for fertility solutions or fertility address in your system, or fertility process you want to engage in or invest in. Just know fully well that if you're having irregular menstruation at every cycle of yours, any cycle of yours that you're having those infertility, this irregular menses, that you need to address it. You need to address irregular menses that you're not having, the menstrual period that you're supposed to be seeing every month that is becoming scanty, that doesn't come this month, comes next month, and the rest of it. If you are a man and your wife has been talking to you about this, know that you guys can actually pin this and then address it. Address it 100%, and then get your ovulation cleared, get it cleared, and then the estrogen flow will actually increase, the surge will increase in your system, ovulation will be addressed, and you will take in. All right, look at what else we're talking about. We're talking about those people who having signs in the system and symptoms that needed to be addressed for them to actually take in. So if you're having issues with this vaginal discharge, know that you have to go to a diagnostic center or go and meet your physician to address it with you, check out, diagnose you, do complete culture tests for you, do the pelvic inflammatory disease for you as well, address it, you and your husband. You can actually do viral disease research laboratory, which is VDRL, check if you have syphilis, and then address it. On that note, you'll be able to take in, and then your issue, psychological traumas you're having as a result of not conceiving, will be addressed. Another thing you can actually see in your system as a man, when you are actually trying to invest or engage into fertility process, you have to check out if you're having erectile dysfunction. Many men are no longer having early morning, and many men are no longer having issues with their early morning erection. That is just because that they are having some issues with their hormones. Either your testosterone is low or is a bit higher than what it's supposed to, at the same time, because you are accumulated with infection. If someone is having that issue, if you're having syphilis as well, anybody can actually have that. If anybody is actually having that issue of that same syphilis or any other, or you are not actually having it, what you needed to do first is to try to diagnose yourself. If you're having any form of infection at a particular time, what you needed to do is to treat yourself, clear yourself, and you become fine. My interest is making sure that you get the conception you seek for, that the fertility issues is being addressed in your system. So if you're having issues with your morning erection, so what you needed to do is to go address the issue of infection. After addressing the issue of infection, there are so many vitamins that you can actually take, and then you get yourself balance, your hormones balance, and you start getting it back. Then another way you can actually help yourself, this is the season of vegetables, this is the seasons of fruit. What you needed to do is to go ahead and start taking your cucumber, your banana. When you start taking carrot and banana, it will help you start getting your erections back. So if you're having those issues, address it first before thinking of getting conception process engaged in it. All right, if you're having mood swing as a woman or as a man, you first of all address that issue. If you're having issue with that, you have to address it. If you're having issues with this mood swing, address it first before taking any other process of conception. You know why? Your mood swing will keep on reducing your hormone, whether you're a man or a woman, and then disrupting your reproductive hormones and not allowing you to actually get your testosterone high, get your hormones high, getting your follicle stimulating hormone, your estrogens, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, everything, balancing it for you if you're not having mood swing. Yes, this is thumbs up. You're doing fine for yourself. You can go ahead with the process of fertility. Do taking sugary things reduce my ability to perform? Yes, taking the questions is right. Taking that affects your performance. That's a question someone threw. If you're actually having issues with sugar or having too much intake of sugary things, it can affect you. For those who are diabetic, obviously it affects your erection. You first of all address the issue of diabetic state, reduce your intake by taking fiber rich food, taking like oatmeals, taking like oatmeals a lot as you swallow, or the oatmeals that you're taking because of the fiber rich in it, reducing carbohydrate intake, reducing some of the food that has sugary content that are high, reduce it. It will help you address a lot of things in your system. Thank you as well. You're welcome. All right, so we're talking about other things that can actually help you when you're having this mood swing. It will reduce your estrogen, and this estrogen helps your ovulation. And if your ovulation is not actually counting well or coming up, or your cervix producing this ovulation and ovaries for you as a result of low estrogen, then what you needed to do is, when you're talking of dry, when you're having this dry vagina and the rest, what you needed to do is run to the lab. Once you run to the lab, your hormonal assay will be addressed. When your hormones are being checked, the 5 hormones are being checked, your prolactin, luteinizing hormone, follic stimulating hormone, and then progesterone as well. Once it's been addressed, once the levels are being addressed, we'll be able to clear you and you'll become fine. All right, vaginal dryness is another thing. If you're having okay, your vagina is always dry, it will actually distract you, it will actually disrupt the intercourse and disrupt whatever that is going on in the system, because the mucus are not rich enough there. So once sperm cells in the system, it will not be able to move, it will not be able to transform, because that very hormone that is meant to help you, the estrogen and the rest of it that is supposed to help the transport of this very sperm, making the environment suiting for the sperm nurture and movement to the ovaries, the cervix, is no longer there. You have to, once you start seeing this dryness, you need to check yourself out and be able to help yourself. That is how you can do things you can actually look into before going into process of fertility. We'll look at poor sleep. If you're having poor sleep at night, whether you're a man or a woman, it still means that melatonin in your system is reduced. So when your melatonin that is supposed to be getting from the dark mood or the darker environment, the body stimulates it. Once your light is always on, please turn it off. It might actually help you at that very time to generate. So if you're having high blood pressure associated also to this very sleepless night, you have to address it, because there are certain things that can actually stimulate you having this high blood pressure. What are those things that can actually stimulate you in having high blood pressure? Those things that can actually stimulate it is stress. If you're having stress, you have to work on it to make sure that your blood pressures are down, so that you don't have preeclampsia, having high blood pressure when you actually taking, because already the body has loaded it. So if you're having issues with high blood pressure presently now as a man, and indirectly you started taking drugs, it will actually affect your erection, affect your production of sperms and the movement of that first sperm. What you needed to do is to help yourself naturally take things that are rich in potassium and reduce that high blood pressure in your system. In so doing, it will help you so much. All right, we'll look into that melatonin. I've told you that you should off your lights, that can actually help you stimulate that very sleep that you need at a particular time. So what you needed to do at every given time is to always increase your sleep, reduce your stress, and increase the strength and energy you needed on your own to make sure you go to bed, remove distractions, remove anything that is bothering you, and make sure you're getting enough sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours sleep. It helps you balance a lot of things in your system, your hormones, allows circulation and stimulation and production of hormones very well in your system. Another thing that you have to actually stop doing in order, or what you're seeing in your system, you've seen yourself engage in wearing condom pants. It actually affects men and women at the same time, attract infections to you. Do you understand? Because there's nowhere air is entering your body, there is no circulation that is going on well. Every time there is heat generated there, and at the same time stimulating infection for you. If you've engaged in wearing condom pants, please stop it now, since your reproductive health is your interest and conception is your interest. Another way you can actually help yourself is if you're seeing pus around the penis, you're seeing some pus coming out from the penis, or you're seeing boils in the penis, on the vagina. If you're having those symptoms, please run to the hospital, run to your physician, and run to the diagnostic center, and then bring out those very informations. Once it's been addressed, then engage into that very fertility process, and it will help you so well. I believe this is informative. I believe this is helping you. Continue to share this program, continue to subscribe, ask your questions. As others have asked their questions, I will continue to answer you. Please, if you're having issues with conception, or having issues with fertility, or you're already pregnant and you're having some dropping and the rest of it, key in always to actually call on your physicians. Do not do certain things on your own, and it will help you address a lot of issues. And in so doing, you become healthy, and then you'll be able to help a lot of generations through those informations and keeping right to yourself. Again, for men, if you're actually trying to engage your sperm cells to be rich, please, you have to concentrate on your wife. You know what I mean? Concentrate on your wife so that your concentration of your sperm cells will be so rich enough. Engage in taking your onions, engage in taking your tiger nut, engage in taking your dibino, engage in taking those carrots and banana I talked about that will help your erection, so that if you're having any of those symptoms I'm saying, you'll be able to run to the hospital, address the ones you address on your own, and then in so doing you'll be able to get the conception and get it so fast. Thank you. Continue to share this program. It will help me, help you, and help your friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, it's night. Thank you for managing this very lightning. And I thank you, and remain blessed. Thanks.